Built from 1944 to 1945, one of the world's first computer data centers was created at the University of Pennsylvania. It housed the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, known as ENIAC, the first large-scale programmable general-purpose electronic digital computer. The demand for computers grew rapidly during the 1950s. Later, due to their large size and data storage requirements, early data processing centers grew in size from the 1960s through the 1980s and 90s. CPUs were huge, and data storage media took up vast amounts of space. By the 1990s, reliance on tape storage was becoming greatly reduced. Many central computers were becoming smaller and more powerful with the continued development of microprocessor-based systems, smaller economical storage media, and the increasing utilization of the Internet for remote access to programs and data processing. The importance of data collection and storage as a valuable commodity placed an increasing demand on data centers of all sizes. The quantity of data center raised floor space available became a greater asset and a greater business expense. In some data centers, a collection of microcomputers or PC servers were used to provide flexibility in file server management. In the following IBM product announcement from 1996, we look at server rack designs to facilitate PC server organization and management. As this technical training film describes, an important aspect of designing an efficient computer data center is the correct selection, installation, and configuration of PC servers, which often includes rack-mounted equipment that is easily accessible for maintenance and upgrades. To facilitate the hardware management of the growing world of PC servers, products were developed to house PC servers in secure and environmentally efficient enclosures. Storage management technologies and the various types of data centers continue to evolve and improve. This tech film presents a snapshot in time. This educational presentation was part of IBM's service training series of the 1990s, and is presented in its entirety, for educational and historical purposes.
Welcome to IBM's Service Training Series, Product Update Volume 10. I'm John Nettuno. This volume will provide those of you supporting our service products the information necessary to support IBM's 19 and 24-inch PC server rack enclosures. This video will start off a little differently than previous volumes. We will start by viewing a PC server rack enclosure video prepared by our marketing team. We will then switch over to our service area, where Henry Artner from our education support team is standing by. Henry will discuss the maintenance implications associated with the same PC server rack enclosures. So let's get started.
So, you want to know more about the PC server rack enclosures? In this overview, we will address all customer rack enclosure requirements. Elements like, how easily can it be handled and moved? How about setup and the preparation for server systems installation? How easy is it to install servers? Do I need to buy new server systems and discard my existing ones? What about expansion capacity? Safety features. Is it easy to use? Does its ergonomic design integrate easily into an operational environment? What about ease of maintenance? Today, you'll find the answer to all of these questions and more in the IBM PC Server Rack Enclosure. The IBM PC Server Rack Enclosures include a total of 6 pre-configured units, all carefully designed for ease and convenience in today's operational environment. Let's start with ease of handling. The IBM PC Server Rack Enclosure is very easy to handle. Just cut off the bands around the box. Take the carton off. Slide the unit down the practically designed ramp and attach the smoked reflective doors. It's that simple. You're ready to move it. Ready to move from the loading bay through corridors and up a ramp to a raised floor. In fact, this particular enclosure is being moved with 4 servers installed in it, proving to you the system's ease of relocation. The IBM PC Server Rack 24-inch enclosure is 76 inches high and 30 inches wide. It fits easily through a standard 80-inch high doorway, unlike some of our competitors. Ready to set up the rack? It's easy. IBM provides more than just an empty shell. Everything is factory installed. Let's take a look. The stabilizers are already in place. All the cables are factory installed and secured. Sliding shelves and rails are in place. IBM has also pre-installed the switch control box, port selector, cooling fan, and the power distribution unit. The doors are easily attached and easily removed. For setup, all that needs to be done is just plug in the one power cable and the enclosure is ready for server installation. It's easy to add systems to the rack. A maximum of 4 screws are required to attach one of 3 standard base plates to a PC server, and you're ready to snap the system onto the sliding shelf. Plug the end of the cables into the servers, attach the keyboard connections, and the systems are ready to go to work for you. Existing departmental servers such as the earlier 85 and 95 server systems can be added to the enclosure. IBM's new PC servers 320, 520, and 720 fit as well. Future server systems can be accommodated also. Any combination of 4 IBM systems will fit into the 24-inch rack. The 19-inch rack enclosure can house up to 3 or 4 servers, depending on whether the bottom area has 1 large shelf or 2 standard shelves. The larger shelf is for the 720 or future larger systems. Replaced servers can be redeployed in user departments. In addition to the industry standard 19 and 24-inch main rack enclosures, which house up to 4 systems, IBM offers 19 and 24-inch expansion rack enclosures. The expansion rack enclosures, like the main racks, also support up to 4 additional systems. That's IBM flexibility for you. The multi-port selector allows one monitor keyboard combination to be shared by up to 8 different systems. You can also have the system automatically scan the servers without manual intervention. A host of safety features are provided. These include strong and sturdy rollers and feet, built-in stabilizers that extend for added safety in addition to rollers and feet. Interlocking cams make sure 2 shelves at the same level cannot be pulled out at the same time. Cables are pre-fastened to avoid damage. Front-mounted safety locks to ensure the shelves stay in place, and side safety latches on the shelf ensure they will stay open. No accidents with open doors. The keyboard can be reached with the doors closed. A fan is mounted on the top of the unit, which keeps the systems cooler. Locks are included in the back and front of the 19-inch rack enclosure, as well as for the keyboard sliding shelf, to eliminate unauthorized access. The 24-inch rack enclosure has a lock on the back panel. IBM rack enclosures also have the endorsement of numerous safety regulators. And let's not forget the sleek design features of the IBM PC Server rack enclosures. All the racks come with smoked reflective doors, well-engineered sliding shelves. You have a choice of black or white keyboards that offer a track point or mouse, and a removable plate is included to hold the mouse. The IBM PC Server rack enclosures offer easy access for maintenance. Just open the door, slide the shelves out, remove the cover of the server system, and one can work on it without disturbing the other systems. You can even work on 2 IBM systems with one shelf pulled out on top and one on the bottom. With the server selection unit, you can switch from one server to another to check software and operational integrity. From uncrating to moving to setup and installation, IBM PC Server rack enclosures are up and operational in no time. The rack enclosures' integrated and uncompromising safety features, direct keyboard access, ease of maintenance, and vast expansion capability help keep your servers up and running now and in the future. Whether it's the 24-inch solution or the 19-inch solution, the IBM PC server rack enclosures will help make the consolidation of servers a simple and cost-effective task, one that saves costs and allows the efficient management of all the server systems from one operator console unit. The IBM PC server rack enclosure has been able to anticipate and complement the needs of today's customers. For more information on the IBM PC server rack enclosure, please contact your local IBM representative or contact us at our internet address www.pc.ibm.com/server. Thank you.
Now that you've seen an overview of the PC server rack enclosure, let's look at some of the available options. They include the PC server expansion rack enclosure, the PS2 8595 mounting plate, the PC Series 300 mounting plate, not including the 310, the PC Server 500, 700 mounting plates, the enhanced video cable 15 feet used when SVGA resolutions are required. Now let's look at the locations. At the top we have the cooling fan, the integrated 8-port selector switch, plexiglass doors, and the sliding keyboard and mouse tray. Of course, the keyboard and mouse are also optional, and the stabilizer and leveling pads. Here are some installation tips. It will take 3 people to unpack the rack for safety reasons. The tools needed will be a 7/16 and 7/8 inch crescent wrench, a level, utility knife, and wire cutters. Leave 30 inches behind the rack and 24 inches in front of the rack for service clearances. A power source of 200 to 240 volts AC, 50-60 Hz is required. After unloading the rack from the shipping crate, raise the rack an 1/8 inch above the floor. Level using the leveling pads and then install the stabilizer. Install the monitor next. The monitor is an optional feature. First thing we want to do is route the monitor cable through the hole in the back and install the power. With the monitor installed in the front of the machine, let's find the monitor cable that we push through the back and install it into the monitor port. With the monitor cable installed, let's take a look at some locations. In the server selector switch, the important location here is the power on-off switch. Above the server selector, we have the cooling fan that we cannot see from the front of the machine. When installing a mouse and keyboard in a 19-inch rack, you please take note that you must use a space saver keyboard. And the keyboard that I've chosen is one that has an integrated track point 2. Grab the cables, and the cable inside you'll notice is labeled, and there's an M designation for mouse. Grab the other end of the cable and plug that in for the mouse. Plug the keyboard into the keyboard cable. Then take all the cables and put them to the back. And also, because I am using an integrated track 2, I'll put the mouse tray back inside the tray. Now let's install the servers, making sure you have the correct mounting tray assemblies for each server being installed. Always install servers in the bottom row first. This is to ensure cabinet stability. In this 19-inch model, a single drawer assembly is used to install a 520 or 720 server. Also, the servers installed may need a BIOS update to function properly. Check with IBM support to verify the BIOS levels required for the servers being installed. Now we will install the servers. The first server will be the server 720 in tray position number 1. As you can see, the tray assembly is already installed. 2 people are required to lift and install the server. Good. Now, with the server securely installed, the cables will be installed when the tray is retracted. Next, we'll install a tray assembly onto a server 320, then install the server into the rack. Here is a 320 mounting plate. As you can see, the mounting plate comes with the screws and holes on the mounting plate to attach into the server 320. With the tray assembly securely installed to the base of the 320, position the 320 on the drawer and install with 4 screws. With all 4 screws securely fastened, we'll now retract the tray assembly, releasing the latch, pushing all the way to the back, and then make sure the trays are latched. Before we continue, make sure that all the rack's drawers are securely fastened. Now we're going to connect all the cables on the rear of the server, then connect the main power cable. The correct order is to power on the server selector first, and then the servers in the rack. Note, if the server selector is not completely powered on before the servers, then the servers may not start properly. The server selector enables the use of a single mouse and keyboard and monitor, all with the press of 1 button. The server selector has a startup behavior that you need to be aware of. When the server selector is powered up, keypad buttons 1 through 8 flash in a series of patterns. The 4 consecutive patterns that indicate internal memory tests, the 5th and 6th pattern indicate the microcode version, and the mouse and keyboard are identified and put into default states. And then finally, the server selector automatically switches to port 1 and lights keypad button 1. If no servers attached to port 1, the light 1 will blink. When the servers are powered up, they automatically send device setting information for mouse, keyboard, and monitor to the server selector, which the server selector accepts and stores, and sends the proper responses back to the servers. Note, if the server selector is powered off and then on, you need to repower all the servers. The server selector enables you to perform switching and non-switching commands from the keyboard or from the selector panel. These functions include command mode, select a server, display microcode version, activate scanning, reset the mouse. To enter commands from the keyboard, activate the server selected keyboard command mode. Command mode is entered by pressing the print screen key. When the selector is in command mode, the selector lights begin blinking. To select a server when in command mode, press the number on the keyboard that represents the server you want to select. For example, press number 3 and press Enter to select server 3, or press keypad 3 on the server selector. To display microcode version from keyboard, press print screen, press V, press Enter. From the selector keypad, press 1 and 3 at the same time. Keypad lights 1 through 4 will display in binary the 2-digit version by displaying 2 patterns in the lights. Scan mode is used to automatically scan from port to port. The selector will cycle all servers remaining attached to each server for 15 seconds. The scanning continues until it is interrupted from input by the user, moving the mouse, pressing any keyboard key or any button on the selector keypad. To enter scanning mode from the keyboard, press the print screen key, press C, press Enter. From the selector, press keypad buttons 1 and 2 at the same time. The reset mouse command allows you to reset the mouse settings on the selected server. From the keyboard, press print screen, press R, press Enter. From the selector keypad, press buttons 2 and 4 at the same time. Now that the systems are fully installed, let's hang the door assemblies. For diagnosing problems in the rack, use the service manual located in the user's guide and the service manual book. The service manual contains a device checker procedure. This procedure will help to determine if the failure is within the rack or the server. There is also a power checker procedure used to diagnose power problems, and also a section for locations and free removals. I hope this information will assist you in the installation and the service of the 9306 rack.
Thanks, Henry, for the service tips on IBM's PC server rack enclosures. If you have technical questions concerning the topics covered in this video, please call your IBM Support Center for assistance. This video is designed to complement the Service Training Series PC Server course. Future product update volumes will be created as new information becomes available. We hope the topics presented were of value to you, and thanks for sharing your time with us.